I would describe my sister Shelly as a really fun, loving, and outgoing person. She lit up the room every time she walked in. This is a really old photo of me and Shelly.
Shelly, from what I remember when we were kids, was very adventurous, curious. She loved to laugh.
This is from her graduation in 2008. She was a very independent woman. She never needed any help from anybody. I never thought that something like this would ever happen to her.
I still find it very hard for me to accept the fact that she's missing. Like, how does somebody just disappear?
It's very frustrating not to know, you know? Like, this is my sister. This is my sister's life. This is my sister's story. What happened to her? Where is she? She arrived in Edmonton in January of 2013. Shelly was sober for 3 years before she went to Edmonton. She had struggles with addictions in the past, but she wanted to get out of that. She ended up in a relationship with this man. I met him once, and based on the things that my sister had told me, that he wasn't a very healthy person. She would tell me that he was very controlling and very verbally and mentally abusive, and that he had fallen into the wrong lifestyle, which was an addiction. Shelly went along with him in that, and so they were engaging in an addiction together.
You know, I like to think that family is very open with each other, you know. Sometimes you think that you know what the other individual might be going through, but in the reality, you don't. I wish I knew what was happening with her at that time.
The last time I spoke with Shelly on the phone, it seemed that she was really sad. She didn't seem like herself. I could just tell by the sound of her voice. All of a sudden, immediately she had to go, so we ended the phone call. And that was on the 26th of August. I texted her again on the August 28th, and I said, "Hey, Shelly, like, I haven't heard from you. You haven't texted me, you haven't called me. Are you okay?" And she replied saying no. Of course, I was really worried. She wouldn't answer my phone calls. She wouldn't text me back. And then I woke up one morning and I attempted to call my sister again, and her phone was disconnected. That's when I immediately knew that something was wrong. On November 8th, my sister Shelly was declared missing by the Edmonton police.
It was very surreal.
I started my own investigation after that. I had to call friends, I had to call family, I called her workplace. It's hard for me to think the worst because I don't know, it's just a mystery. I believe the Edmonton police labeled Shelly as living a high-risk lifestyle, but still, like, I still believe that whatever happened to my sister, whatever happened to any of these innocent people, it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
You know, these girls with their stories and the lifestyle that they live doesn't mean that they should be just written off. And I always want to reverse it is, what if it was non-Aboriginal?
The police investigation on Shelly has gone cold. All the effort that I put into finding Shelly, everything just comes up unsolved. Like a dead end, right? I still haven't gotten any answers. Not personally and not from the EPS Missing Persons Unit. When I found out that Shelly was disappeared in November, I personally had to go and change my life. I just had this vision of like holding these walks and raising awareness that way. So I created a Facebook page for Shelly. Upon that, I also held the first walk in Edmonton on National Aboriginal Day, where we wore the color blue. And the second walk that I did was here in Fort McMurray, where we wore the color red. This event is called Shaping Their Futures. It's for families to come together to grieve the loss of the missing and murdered loved ones. I'm here for you, okay? And it's something that comes up a lot, that these women are forgotten, that their stories aren't being heard and that their families and everything is just being pushed aside. And I'm not going to let that happen.
Sharing Shelly's story to me is important because she's part of a family. She's a part of our story. She's loved very much.
I feel that, like, with my story and my sister's story, I feel that don't ever take your family for granted, because you never know that when the next time you'll see them again. I don't think I'll ever stop until I find Shelly and bring her back to her family and friends.